I think the way the winds are blowing, and I think as per your previous conversation, the FTC and regulators are having a bit of a tough time, and it looks increasingly likely like this deal will get done. And the threats to the consumer that the FTC have alleged do not seem to be transpiring in the way that they thought it would.
Paul, it's Arjun. Now let's just talk about the merits of this deal for Microsoft. In your notes, you called the deal incremental to Microsoft. But just over the longer term, if you think about it, we're expecting from some of the forecasts the cloud gaming market to really explode into tens of billions of dollars an industry. Isn't there a big opportunity for Microsoft here to sort of really cement themselves like Sony has in consoles in cloud gaming?
Absolutely, and it's ironic that you've noted that Sony have cemented their place in hardware, whereas Microsoft haven't really with Xbox, as they have been outsold by PlayStation by 2-1, and so they've now shifted their strategy slightly towards more software, more games, and they've been buying content with the likes of Bethesda and now Activision. And the question has always been, what is the value of the Game Pass for Microsoft? How many titles, how many AAA titles can they wrap into the Game Pass? I think they've got 25 million current subscribers on Game Pass paying something like $10 a month. And then if you wrap in Call of Duty into that and add more and more content, that games business for them becomes less hit-driven and more subscription-based, and therefore should warrant a higher multiple going forward. But we talk about it as being incremental in the sense that the gaming business for Microsoft is currently only 6% of revenues, and if you then add in Activision, you get to 10% of revenues, and the cloud or the gaming business probably grows mid to high single digits. Whereas if you look at Azure, something like 30% of the business growing, currently 31% with an AI kicker. So yes, gaming will get better and will be a positive contributor for Microsoft, but it's not going to be the story for the next 5 years.
Well, to that point, we've been watching Brad Smith effectively tackle regulators globally. He's just sort of in one country after another trying to ensure regulators move with them in terms of this deal. Is there a risk when there are so many other more important parts of the pie for Microsoft at this point, particularly around AI, that they're being distracted because of the complexity of this takeover deal?
I think that has been a question that's come to the front of mind for many investors recently, is like, do Microsoft need this? Do they need the hassle of provoking the FTC, for want of a better word? But they have been very consistent in their approach to this. You've seen in the last couple of weeks that they've put out a lot of data in their FTC filings, which they wouldn't necessarily want to do, and they've carried on pushing this deal through. So it is important to them, but perhaps not maybe as important in other parts of the business.
Well,